Topping our news this week, no deadline in sight. The project has been in talks for 15 years, but it doesn't look like township officials are ready to make a commitment on a timeline for the new community center. We've got the details coming up. Charlie?
Major development signaling major change along one of Shelby's busiest roadways. The timeline coming up.
And arts and scraps, how one group is turning your trash into a work of art. We've got all of this plus much more on this edition of Shelby This Week. A question on many Shelby residents' minds is what's going on with the community center? What's the progress on finding or building a new one? While information is limited, we wanted to let you know what we know. We talked with township officials who say they're taking things slowly because they want to do the project right, not just get it done. The township is continuously meeting with Fazil Khan and AEW. Engineers and planners are walking through the building to see what each entities need. So what kind of space the library and senior center needs, and what courts and here at Shelby TV need. Sketches like this are being done as possibilities of what each one could look like. Sketches range from whether we stay or whether we go. There's a lot of options that are being weighed, so unfortunately right now the township says there's really no timeline to tell, but you can count on us to let you know more information when we hear it. The trash hauler Rizzo Environmental Services is now at the center of a major federal corruption probe in Macomb County. Years ago, Shelby Township switched to Rizzo for, quote, better service and pricing. But now a sensational criminal case surfaced that places Rizzo in the realm of corruption. The investigation is expected to expose numerous pay-to-play schemes. We will be following this investigation closely and will bring you updates as they develop in Macomb County. Comcast is facing a big fine of $2.3 million. The Federal Communications Commission announced the company had to pay in fines to settle a multi-year probe into whether or not the company billed customers for services and equipment they never ordered. The FCC says it received complaints from Comcast customers saying they were billed for set-top boxes, premium channels, and even digital video recorders they never saw. 22 million subscribers are believed to be affected. Besides the $1 million fine, Comcast must also adopt new processes and procedures designed to make sure customers are asked for consent prior to charging them new services and equipment. The corner of 26 Mile Road in Van Dyke is changing fast. In less than a year, the massive Kroger development is already up and almost ready for business. Charlie Cadado tells us how 26 Mile could soon become a regional hotspot.
Well, no doubt the new Kroger site will really transform how the corner of 26 and Van Dyke looks. In fact, Kroger is only one of several major companies moving in. Officials say you can expect 26 Mile to become a rising regional corridor. Brick by brick, pieces of this new shopping center on Van Dyke and 26 Mile are coming together.
This isn't just serving a local market, it's serving more of a sub-regional market, so it's drawing from Washington Township as well.
Glenn Wynn is planning director in Shelby Township. He's in charge of deciding how intersections will look in the future. And at 26 Mile, it's all about regional development.
26 Mile Road has always been a regional corridor through mid-Macomb County, so it was, it's got great access to the freeway, and then west, east all the way to Lake St. Clair.
Anchored by Kroger, this new development is really no surprise, considering housing has moved north.
All those rooftops support that additional retail space.
It's a completely different look than a decade ago. Take a look at these satellite images. This is from 2000, and year after year, you can see the change. The biggest when Target, Home Depot, and Kohl's opened.
That was really the anchor on that corner. So it was only a matter of time before you saw an anchor develop on the opposite corner, which are kind of a bookends to that development.
The opposite corner is now one of the largest retail developments of the year. Ulta Beauty and TJ Maxx are expected to open by November, Kroger by December. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadado.
Thanks, Charlie. 200 years. That's how long the city of Utica has been around, and now they're looking to celebrate.
That way, everything will be set up, entertainment, vendors,
The events committee is meeting 8 months in advance to plan its big bicentennial celebration. If you remember the Utica River Walk they held every year, they plan to make next year's festival bigger and better than ever to celebrate its anniversary. But they need your help to do so.
And we would like volunteers to come forward, anyone who would like to perform, anyone who can contribute in any way, shape, or form. If you have a desire, we have a job for you.
we really could use all the help to celebrate 200 years of success in Utica. And anybody that has ideas, we are welcome to them, and come and participate.
So if you'd like to help in any way, Utica wants to hear from you. They need volunteers to help run the event, vendors, or volunteer performers. Whatever it is you'd like to do, they'd like to hear it. For more information on how to do so, visit our website at shelbytv.org. This November, voters will give their say on a millage request for regional mass transit in Metro Detroit. Charlie Cadato explains the $4.6 billion plan and how much it would cost you.
For decades, Michigan's movers and shakers talked public transportation, the demands, the needs, and the wants. And after much discussion, the Regional Transit Authority Board voted to place a historic transportation proposal on your November ballot. The proposal is massive and would add dozens of new bus lines in Metro Detroit. The plan also includes a rail connecting Detroit to Ann Arbor and better access to the airport. Here in Macomb County, the plan would primarily service Gratiot Avenue, with bus lines extending on Hall Road and Van Dyke. But by 2021, bus service would eventually stretch from Hall Road all the way to Metro Airport. Now, the master plan spans about 20 years, beginning in 2017, but most of the system would be completed within the first 5 years. Opponents are mostly concerned with the cost. After all, $4.6 billion with a B is a lot of money. So what does that mean for Shelby Township residents? The average homeowner here would pay about $300 a year. That's about $25 a month.
Southeastern Michigan is the largest urban center in the nation that doesn't have mass transportation, and this is a start.
The Macomb County Chamber of Commerce is one of the supporters of this plan because they say it'll help fill open jobs.
We see this as an economic development issue. It's going to hopefully fill jobs. It's going to spur development because along the main lines, the bus routes and that, where people travel, there's always spin-off development.
The chamber admits this could be a hard sell, but either way, they'll respect the will of the voters come November 8th. With this week's Political Corner, I'm Charlie Cadato.
And Shelby TV will be there for you on November 8th for Election Day coverage. We will bring you updates on all of the numbers from the local and county elections, and we'll also bring you updates on the presidential election as well. If you can't watch us on TV, we will have a live broadcast on Facebook, so you can watch us and keep getting updates on every race. Tune in on November 8th for all of the programming and poll numbers. Arts and crafts has turned into arts and scraps. Arthur Schenk tells us about a group in Detroit who's helped recycle tons of trash by turning it into a new art form and a way to learn.
There's an old saying that stated, "One man's trash is another man's treasure." Well, if you add a bit of learning and a little bit of fun, you just might be talking about Arts and Scraps of Detroit. Since 1989, Arts and Scraps has collected materials that have traditionally made their way to landfills with the idea of repurposing and recycling. This past year, the group has worked with almost 200 companies and over 1,000 individual scrap donors to provide the materials for 275,000 Southeastern Michigan students to think, create, and learn.
Everyone brings in things like their bottle caps. So those are a little bit harder to go into the landfills, and we can turn those into eyes, into a whole mosaic art, so we can make people or aliens. I love aliens. But anything outside the box, we can make it in with simple things, even in strips of paper. So the smallest things that you would throw away, we can strip them up and give them to a little child and let them be creative with it. And it might become a dress, a new fashion dress, you know, so we do enjoy all that.
Most of what Arts and Scraps works into their curriculum is something they call STEM. That's S-T-E-M.
That science, technology, engineering, and math, and it has stayed with us the whole time. We present this to kids with open-ended concept so that they can make and create thinking as opposed to being told step one, step two. So that's how we got started.
The STEM kits are created with the help of volunteers with subjects that range from history, engineering, and even health. A great way to help a teacher with a classroom of students or a parent entertaining a child. But you don't have to be a teacher to visit Arts and Scraps. Heck, you don't even have to visit them. They can come to you, like they did to almost 18,000 students this year.
We actually have a truck that goes right out to the schools, and the kids actually get to go onto the truck and shop.
If you're interested in more information on Arts and Scraps, or you or your company would like to donate materials for them to use, you can call 313-640-4411 or go to artsandscraps.org. For Shelby This Week, I'm Arthur Schink.
Still ahead on Shelby this week, take a look inside our fire department. The department has opened its doors for its annual open house, and even the kids got to be firefighters for a day. And healthy pizza. You're probably thinking there's no such thing, but you could be wrong. We'll tell you more about a local business that's changing the way you look at pizza.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The automotive parts manufacturer Forcia will close 2 plants due to a loss in customer business. Forcia will close the Fraser and Sterling Heights assembly plants for a total of 348 layoffs. The company makes seats and interior systems for a variety of automakers, but this is partially due to Fiat Chrysler discontinuing production of its Chrysler 200 and the Dodge Dart models. The majority of layoffs will come from the Merrill Road plant with 117 people. The Masonic plant will see 93 employees laid off. The Sims Road and 14 Mile Road plant follow those. Layoffs are expected to occur in December. The fire department opened up their station to everyone here in Shelby Township. Hundreds of people came from all over the county to the annual open house. Our township firefighters were able to show off their trucks and all the tools they use to save lives. This was the day they've been looking forward to for a long time.
Asked most of the guys that work here, what'd you want to be when you were a kid? I'd say over half of them probably said they want to be a firefighter. So this is it's a special day, and it is exciting to see the kids dressed up and mimicking what we do.
Kids even got the chance to use a real fire hose and ride a fire truck ladder. And it looks like there's some future firefighters right there. Pepperoni, mushrooms, and onions are all toppings you might enjoy on your pizza. But Nick Buckler shows us one business new to Shelby Township that's putting a healthier spin on your ordinary pizza pie.
Who knew that whether you're watching your figure or loading up on the meats, pizza could be the meal for you? NKD Pizza is open in Shelby Township, and let me behind the scenes to make some of their healthier pizzas. NKD takes pride in their pizzas being a little bit healthier than your run-of-the-mill pizza.
It's the dough. It's the better carbs. All of our ingredients are all natural. They're not filled with any preservatives. Everything you're able to pronounce. So, none of the additives or preservatives or any sort of food coloring.
This is the second location in Michigan. And to celebrate coming to Shelby Township, NKD Pizza has a special offer for Shelby TV viewers.
We want to throw your next corporate or business party. We're offering Shelby TV viewers a chance to win a catered party for up to 23 to 30 employees for your organization. So good luck.
I help make the pizzas, so it's only fair I got to help taste them too. And they passed the taste test. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
As you know, the month of October is Pizza Month, and NKD Pizza is celebrating with their Give Us Your 2 cents promotion. So if you buy a large pizza, you get a second pizza with 2 toppings for just 2 cents. And the fun doesn't stop there. NKD is partnering with us for a special pizza giveaway. They'll cater your business luncheon for free for up to 35 people. Find out how you can win by heading to our Shelby TV Facebook page. Take a break from your regular meals and visit a new restaurant that's opened up in Shelby Township.
1, 2, 3, yeah!
Meza Mediterranean Grill is now open. It's a mini chain that has restaurants in Rochester Hills, Royal Oak, and Orchard Lake. And there's a wide variety of Middle Eastern dishes.
Well, all our dishes are delicious, but probably our most popular would be our hummus, which is our appetizer, our fattoush salad, which is our signature salad. We have deboned chicken, we have our shawarmas, we have our kebabs. So it's whatever you favor, and thankfully we do a great job on all of our dishes.
Meza Mediterranean Grill offers fine dining and carry-out as well. If you're interested in trying some of that hummus, kibbe, or their lamb shawarma, Meza is located on the east side of Van Dyke, just north of 25 Mile Road in the Vince and Joe's Plaza. Imagine 300 witches in one room. And yes, we're talking about Halloween. Hundreds of people dressed in costume for the annual Bewitched and Bedazzled event. It's a wickedly fun luncheon and boutique shopping event with entertainment, raffles, and lots of fun.
We're really pleased by the number of ladies that got into the spirit today and dressed up as their favorite witch and came out today. So it's not often that you will have that many witches in one place.
All the money raised from tickets and the silent auction went to a good cause as well.
We are part of the Meadowbrook Theater Guild, and all of the funds that we raise supports Meadowbrook Theater, which is an absolutely awesome theater.
The event was hosted by the Meadowbrook Theater Guild, so that money helps the nonprofit organization put on a variety of shows throughout the year, including the holiday tradition, A Christmas Carol. Next on Shelby this week, a helpful Halloween tip. We'll tell you why there are certain costumes you need to steer away from in the name of health for your kids. And we'll take you inside the Detroit Zoo for the smashing of the pumpkins next.
We need a claim number?
When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
If you're still prepping for Halloween, doctors are offering advice to make trick-or-treating a little less scary for children who suffer from asthma. As kids pick out a costume, avoid masks that make it hard to breathe or contain chemicals that might trigger symptoms. Be sure they take their medication before trick-or-treating, or if they go out in their costumes, make sure that they bring an inhaler with them. If running in cold air or moldy leaves are a problem, consider trunk-or-treat events or a Halloween party instead. And it was a good night on both football fields. Eisenhower and Utica High School football both won. Let's get you highlights of Ike winning their red division and Utica's tough game they powered through.
A battle for the MAC Red title. Eisenhower taking on Warren Mott. Pitch out right to Jack Preventure. And all he sees is green grass in front of him. Second quarter, Eisenhower's Jacob Albright. Option left. And he's off to the races. And it's 14-0. Eisenhower gets their third touchdown on a trick play. End around to Jacob Albright. But no, he's throwing to Jack Morris. Eisenhower would tack on another field goal by Anthony Toko, and they would go into the half, leading 24-0. Jack Preventure running it in for his second touchdown of the night. The Marauders finally getting on the board. Javon Wilson from 1 yard out. Their extra point is blocked. Preventure completing his hat trick of touchdowns to bring us to our final score. Eisenhower Eagles 38, Warren Mott Marauders 6.
Week 8 action in the MAC White as the Fraser Ramblers take on your Utica Chieftains. The Chieftains would get the scoring started in the first quarter as Nathan Ayers takes the handoff up the middle, drags the defender, and breaks the plane of the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point is wide right, and Utica takes a 6-0 lead. The Chieftains would get on the board again in the first quarter as Leonard Kasem takes the handoff, runs into a pile of defenders, but forces his way in for a Chieftains touchdown. Utica would convert the 2-point conversion as they take a 14-0 lead. The Ramblers' special teams would come up huge as they block this punt, and Julian Boyer scoops and scores. The extra point is good, and the Chieftains would take a 14-7 lead to the locker room at halftime. Now in the second half, Ramblers quarterback Ian Casey takes the QB sneak on the goal line and makes his way in for a Ramblers touchdown. The extra point is good, and the game is now tied at 14. Now in the fourth quarter, the Chieftains would break the tie as Nathan Ayers rips off this long touchdown run. The extra point is good, putting the Chieftains up 21-14. The Ramblers would answer in the closing minutes of the game as Dominic Malecki takes this handoff, breaks some tackles, and goes all the way in for a Ramblers touchdown. But the Chieftains special teams would have the last laugh as Blake Franklin blocks the extra point, preserving a 21-20 lead for the Chieftains. The game would end with that same score as the Utica Chieftains take down the Fraser Ramblers on the road, 21-20.
Lastly, there's pumpkin carving, pumpkin painting, and even pumpkin smashing this time of year. But it's not the people who are smashing the pumpkins. It's the animals at the Detroit Zoo. The animals were given tasty treats and seasonal munchies like pumpkins, gourds, corn, and other fall harvest foods. Polar bears and bison were given pumpkins to eat, and giraffes were given jack-o'-lanterns filled with broccoli. The zoo staff says it's all part of their efforts to provide a fun and ever-changing environment for their animals to play and enjoy. If you missed all the fun, don't worry. The Detroit Zoo will do another smashing of the pumpkins on Saturday, October 22nd from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And that's it for us here at Shelby this week. You can watch us all the time on shelbytv.org. And for updates on everything you heard about today, head to our Shelby TV Facebook page. We'll leave you now with some Halloween scenes from around Shelby Township. Thanks for watching.